Ladies and gentlemen, hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? Today we are starting the ritual over again. Normally I do it in these red lights. However, I'm not going to be doing that this time. I think it was affecting my eyes and like the way I was reading. So, everyone, hello. Thank you for joining. Today we are going on an adventure to part 3 of this reading of the ritual. So if anyone is reading along, we are on chapter 13. We are starting after Riot has claimed his chosen one. Hello, hello, hello. Hyper, hello, thank you, thank you, thank you. So if anyone's reading along, as I was saying, we are on chapter 13. How are we on audio? Can you guys hear me just fine? And then also the music. I'll give everyone some time. You can't hear the music? All right, let me turn it up. All right, how about now? Thumbs up, we can hear the music. Good? No? All right. We're getting really uncomfortable so as I was saying, where we left off where Riot and Blakely ended up breaking up with Matt, whatnot. Now Blakely is with Riot and his chosen one, and he throat fucked her in front of the whole church. So that was the ritual, for what I understand. Now we're gonna go further into her perspective now. In front of the church. Yes, in front of the church. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start. I keep stalling. I'm gasping for a breath as his cum, water, and drool runs down my chin. My body shakes uncontrollably, my knees rubbed raw from the steps. Everything hurts from tensing, and my hands have gone numb from the handcuffs. I remain kneeling as he lets go of me and stands. I look up at him, though the tears that still fall, and watch him stick his semi-hard dick into his wet jeans before zipping them up. He's big, in both length and girth. My jaw hurts from keeping it open, and my throat is sore from how rough he was. Leaning down, he grabs my upper arm and pulls me to my feet. I'm not even sure I can walk. My legs are shaking so hard. He pulls me out of the water and over to the stairs. I drop my head to stare at my wet heels while water runs off our soaked clothes. He releases my arm and grips my hair, yanking my head up as I whimper. "Don't be ashamed, Blake," he whispers in my ear. "You're my chosen one. Be proud. I know I am." Leading me down the stairs, we go left at the bottom, and I keep quiet as he takes me down a hallway and to a door. We step outside. Looking around, I can't see much. It's dark outside, and there's only a single light on the building above us to illuminate this area. The cathedral is surrounded by woods, and I squint, trying to see out into the trees. The wind picks up, and I shiver. My soaking wet dress clings to my body, and water still runs down my legs. What are we? He turns to me, grabs my shoulders, and spins me around, shoving my back into the building. I cry out as he hushes my restrained arms between the church and me. He steps into me and cuts it off, slapping a hand over my mouth. Leaning his lips to my ear, he takes my lobe into his mouth and sucks on it, making a shiver run up my spine. Pulling away, he whispers roughly, "I'm going to fuck you right here, right now. That mouth is mine. That ass is mine. That cunt is mine. You're fucking mine." I whimper as my pussy starts pulsing at his words. I can't imagine how rough he'll be on my body after what he just did to my mouth. I'm still not sure if we've already had sex since I passed out the first time and drugged myself the second time. His emerald eyes are on fire. It makes my stomach turn at how much he wants from me, and at how much I want to give him. You belong to me now, Blake, and I'm going to take what's mine. He moves his hand from my mouth, and I suck in a breath. Taking a step back from me, I slump against the building. I'm not sure my legs can hold me up anymore. Gripping the hem of my dress, he yanks it up to bunch high on my waist. My breathing hitches when he digs his fingers into the top of my thong and pulls it down my trembling legs. And he has to help me step out of them. "Please," I beg, pushing off the church just a bit to relieve my arms. My wrist hurts so bad and my knees start to buckle, making me shuffle in my heels. "Undo the cuffs." Oh, she's saying please undo the cuffs. He shoves my underwear into my mouth and slaps his hand back over it, pinning my head to the building. Water fills my mouth and I choke on it, making my body convulse against his before I could swallow it down. I blink and he watches fresh tears fall from my eyes at the act. He lowers his lips back to my ear while his free hand slides between our bodies and finds my pussy. "You don't know what belonging to me means yet, but I'm about to teach you, little one." I'm sorry. I have to pause right here because on that little one line, I talked about this before. Saying little one is just, it's creepy. It's fucking weird. The fact Riot is saying that, I don't know. Back to it. He trails his lips down the side of my neck, and I tilt my head to the side to allow him access. "No one will hear me fuck you, and no one will ever watch me fuck you." I breathe heavily through my nose while swallowing more water that soaked my underwear. "But everyone will know you belong to me." His fingers gently massage my clit and I moan. I will show off my trophy covered in bruises from my hands. He spreads my pussy and slides a finger inside me, forcing me to lift onto my tiptoes. Marks from my teeth. He bites down on my neck and my body breaks out in goosebumps while I cry out into my gag. "You live for me now." He licks up the side of my neck to my ear. "And I for you." He thrusts a second finger and I suck in a deep breath from my nose, closing my watery eyes. "You serve and obey me. I protect and own you." My legs shake, my feet ache, and my arms hurt from being pinned, but my pussy is dripping wet. And it's not because I was just in water minutes ago. I've never been treated like this, so dominated. My body is trembling in anticipation for what he's going to do to it. This is what it craves, what I've imagined it would be like. I might have never slept with Matt, but I've played with myself enough, my fingers and toys, that I'm so fucking ready for him. Now spread your legs and let me fuck my cunt. This is now from Riot's perspective. Her small body trembles against mine, but she does as she's told. She spreads her feet the best she can, and I smile against her wet skin. "Mine." She's going to make the perfect chosen one. So eager to learn, so willing to submit. I remove my fingers from her pussy, and she lets out a whimper. Do not spit this out, I order, pulling my hand from her mouth. She nods once. If I had tape, I'd add it, but I don't. Plus, this will be a test of how well she will take her chosen one responsibility. Reaching down, I undo my jeans and remove my cock. It's been hard this entire time. Her arms and wrists hurt. She should be a man. Sometimes you get so hard, it's excruciating. It can bring you to your knees if you're not careful. I step back into her, grip her right thigh, and lift her heel off the ground, holding it against my hip. I look down and watch the head of my cock push its way into her sweet fucking tight cunt. Mine. I'm the first one to be here. Her mumbled cry makes me smile as I force my way into her. She's so fucking tight. Well, the best I can in this position. I would prefer her ass up in the air so I can really get deep, but I'll do that when I get her back to my place. I wasn't joking when I told her that everyone will know she belongs to me. I have all night to have her any way I want, to mark my territory. And I can't wait to see the look on Matt's face when I take her back to the House of Lords. He should have taken my warning as the threat it was. I won't make the same mistake he did. I'll put a leash on her so fucking short she won't be able to breathe without my permission. Dropping my face to her neck, I kiss her wet skin. Pieces of her hair stick to my lips as I pull my hips back and shove them forward, forcing more incoherent noises from her gagged mouth. Fuck Blake. Her already tight pussy clamps down on my dick, and my breathing picks up. My free hand drops to her other thigh, and I lift it as well, using my body to press her back into the building. I start fucking her hard with fast thrusts without protection. I will never use a condom with her. No reason to. I'm clean, and I know she is too. I haven't had sex in over 3 years since I took the oath of the summer before my freshman year. This is why the tradition was started. It shows us what it's like to taste power. Owning her is just a small fraction of what I will do once I graduate from Barrington. The Lords don't want us spending our college years letting pussy get in our way. We have to prove that our loyalty to the Lords is more important than our dicks. I forgot how good pussy feels, how warm, soft, and pliable as it stretches to accommodate my size. And she's so wet, yet there's still just enough resistance that I have to force it. It's taking my breath away. My hand just wasn't cutting it anymore. My balls tightening on their own, and I grind my teeth, not wanting it to be over. But bringing her out here wasn't the best idea. There's always a chance someone could walk back here and see her, but the Lords are still inside going through the ritual. I wanted to be the first tonight, because I wasn't going to fucking wait any longer. Knowing I can't hold it off, I drop her legs and pull out because I'm going to come any second. Stepping back from her, I grab her dress and yank her forward, forcing her onto her knees. Reaching into her mouth, I pull out her underwear and grip her hair at the crown with that hand, yanking her head back. Open your mouth. I rush out through gritted teeth. She parts her lips and stares at me, tears running down her makeup-smeared face. Fucking beautiful, just like I knew she'd be. I grip my wet cock with my free hand just in time to stroke it once before I come all over her face with a groan. The force behind it almost knocks me to my knees, leaning forward. I have to let go of her hair and place my hand on the building behind her to keep myself upright. Fuck me. It was worth it. For it to be with her, knowing that I can do that as much as I want, whenever I want. It's an ego stroking moment for sure, The power of that alone is almost a high, like being inside her. Pushing off the wall, I try to calm my breathing as I look down at my dick. There's not any blood that I can see, but I fucked enough women before college to know that not all of them bleed. I figured the odds of her doing so were small. When I dropped her off at her apartment after the party, I went through her drawers and found all the toys that I'm guessing she uses on herself. Anything like that could have stretched her hymen over the years. Plus, she didn't bleed when I finger fucked her, shoving my dick into my jeans. I zipped them up. Crouching down to her level, I reach out and run my finger through the cum that smeared across her cheek. Tongue out, I ordered. She swallows before parting her lips in doing so. Good girl. I praise her and she whimpers, her body shaking. Running my finger across her tongue, I clean it off. Then I run 3 fingers along her chin, picking up more, then stick them into her mouth, pressing them to the back of her throat and forcing her head back. She gags, eyes blinking with fresh tears, but doesn't try to pull her head away. Close. Her lips close around my fingers the best she can, and her tongue wraps around them, making me groan when she sucks, wanting it to be my cock inside of her mouth again. When done right, a mouth can feel better than a pussy. Slowly, I pull them out, letting her lick them clean once again, satisfied with her obedience, especially with her lack of experience. I stand to reach into my back pocket, pulling out the handcuff key. She drops her head and lets out a soft sob, knowing she's being freed from the unforgiving metal binding her wrist. I walk behind her, grip her upper arm, pulling her to stand. She cries out and stumbles forward and heels, but I hold her. I inspect her wrist and hands before I undo them. There's a little bit of blood running down her hands from them cutting into her skin, and they're blue from the lack of circulation. This is her doing. I had asked her if they were too tight in front of the Lords. It was for show. When she said yes, I couldn't show any weakness, so I tightened them. But in all honesty, it was setting her up to fail if she had said no. I would have tightened them too. The ritual's crystal clear on how we treat our chosen during the vow ceremony. Whatever I do with her behind closed doors is a different story, but I won't go soft on her. That's not who I am. I was trained by a fellow lord, and Ty taught me what was expected. We are training these women for a higher power. Even I can't save her from her future. All I can do is prepare her. She will know hell, but for now, I shall be her devil. I undo the cuffs, and she lets out a soft cry before pulling her hands around to the front. I yank her dress back down. I yank her dress back down into a place and bend down, picking up her underwear before sticking it into my pocket. Let's go, I say, and grab her arm, leading her around the building and to her car parked that is out front. Now we go to chapter 14. I'm not gonna lie, to start from that chapter, I probably should have ended that on the last one, but we're gonna stop in between every chapter, and I want to get the thoughts of what everyone is thinking right now. And then we'll go into a small discussion. It's just book club. That's all it is. So what's everyone thinking? Pussy gone is good. I don't know. When I was reading it, I thought it was gonna be like such a smut novel that he was gonna eat his own cum. I thought it was like that. That's like, I was like, oh god, like that's why I made that face. Like I was disgusted. I was like, I don't know if I want to keep reading this, but here we are. We're further into it, and we're gonna be able to be able to continue to move forward. Seeing it from Blakely's perspective, I think I don't know how to explain it. Riot is so fucking like, it's so vulgar, and saying little one all the time to her is really fucking disturbing for me. However, it is a smut novel, so we're going to continue to read it. But Blakely's perspective, I really enjoy reading from Blakely's perspective. Riot's more like, what I'm giving him is like that good, I don't fucking care, like fuck you type shit, like fuck you attitude, right? But Blakely has more personality, more character to her. And yeah, I think I also will be, when I'm reading from Blakely's perspective, I'm committing to the part. So with that being said, I know there will be clips. I know there will be clips of the moaning, the groaning, saying in a high-pitched voice, like, yes, like that. I'm going to read it like that from now on. And if everyone is here and ready for it, we will continue to chapter 14, unless there's something else that someone has to say. Speak now or forever hold your peace. I realize I can't be doing that on Twitch. All right. We're going in. Chapter 14. From Blakely's perspective now. No, I mean, maybe. What? No, it's just like... No. Hot and bothered for sure. Like, this is a really intriguing book, but I'm drinking water, you know. All right. No, not at all. Too tight of pants to even have that. All right. How dare you say I'm half chubbed? Not even close. I don't know. It's not really a turn on. I find it really entertaining to like read it. Because when I'm reading it out loud, I can't imagine it because I'm so focused on reading and I'm focused on looking at myself at the camera and making sure camera equipment's going. I'm too distracted. So it's not really a turn on for me. However, it's very fun reading. So, with further ado, Chapter 14. He puts me in my passenger seat and gets in the driver's seat. I had left my keys in the car along with my purse and phone. He starts it up and drives us away from the building. I was in the middle of nowhere, so I wasn't worried about anyone taking anything. I stay silent, rubbing my hands together. They tingle as the feeling finally returns to my fingers. My wrists are raw and bloody. I still have cum on my face, my hair, and on my chest. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to wipe it off. I'm freezing cold, sitting in my wet dress and my underwear are in his pocket. My thighs burn and my pussy is sore. It wasn't nearly as painful as I thought it was going to be, and it makes me wonder even more if I've already had sex with him. After everything that has happened since class has started, I don't regret my decision to live my life how I want. Yeah, some would argue that my agreeing to be his chosen one strips away any say I have over my body, but I see it differently. I see freedom in knowing that I belong to him, someone who physically wants me. A person can only handle so much rejection before they start to question why. What is wrong with me? Where are we going? Where are we going? I whispered, biting my bottom lip nervously, wondering what now. He looks over at me for a quick second before placing his eyes back on the road. House of Lords, he answers. He answers before. I don't give a... By Mizio, and Zelia begins to fill the car. We pull into the gate of the hotel and he parks my car before opening my door for me. Entering the place, it's odd being here without it crowded with people. No flashing lights or blaring music, just silence. Everyone is still at the vow ceremony, he states, knowing what I am thinking. He takes my hand and guides me to the bedroom where I once found my stranger in a mask. He steps into another door, and it's his private bathroom, along with the mirror and counter with double sinks are in front of us. A door to the right is where the toilet must be. To the left is a shower that runs the full length of the bathroom. It's nothing but glass to see inside, with 3 shower heads, one at each end and a third in the middle. The floor is white with dark gray walls, the countertop black. It's weird to see nothing is cluttering it, like all the stuff I leave out on mine. She gonna drink. Oh God. Oh God. He lets go of my hand, turning around, and his emerald eyes meet mine. My breath catches the look in them. He's hungry. They tell me everything that I was wondering. I know what we did in the woods was just a sample of what he wants from me. Take a shower. His eyes look over my cum-covered, makeup-smeared face and down over my wet body. Get cleaned up. Then he walks out, shutting me inside. He didn't tell me to hurry, so I take my time. The water hurts my wrist, but it's not unbearable. I stand under the center sprayer and just enjoy the warm water before washing my hair with his shampoo. Then I use his body wash, and it makes me wonder if this is why he brought me here. One more way to claim me. It's hard to deny a man if you bathe in his scent. Turning off the water, I exit the shower and dry off with a white towel I found hanging on a hook. Being careful with my wrist, looking around, I realize I don't have anything to put on, but I have a feeling that's on purpose. I open the cabinet under one of the sinks to find mouthwash. Unscrewing the lid, I throw some back. I swish it, swirling around before spitting it into the sink. I've swallowed water that had no telling what was in it, and cum, multiple times. I'd like to brush my teeth, but mouthwash will do for now. Taking in a deep breath, I open the door and step out into his bedroom. It's what I would imagine a guy like Riot to have. The dark walls are bare, and the bed is covered in black sheets, a black comforter, and 2 pillows with matching pillowcases. 1 tall dresser and 1 long dresser that are dark gray. There's no TV or mirror hanging. I never paid attention last time I was in here. Too drunk. And also, I was blindfolded. He's over by the long dresser with his back to me. He's still wearing his wet clothes. And I see the way his shirt sticks to his back and arms. You can see every outline of muscle. They tense as he moves, digging around for something. I clear my throat and he shoves the drawer shut. Turning around, his tongue comes out, and he licks his lips while his green eyes look me over. Drop the towel, he orders, and my heart accelerates. I reach up and untuck it from my underarms and letting it fall to my feet. I already know he's seen all of me. I swallowed that liquid, changed my clothes, crawled into bed, and woke up naked hours later. He had undressed me. He walks over, his eyes on my breast. Coming to a stop, he reaches out and cups my right one, and I moan as he squeezes it. He's in no way gentle, but I love it. Whenever Matt and I would mess around, he'd be soft. I always felt like I wanted more. Riot lets go and slaps the side of it, making the skin sting and the sound bounce off the walls in the room. I jump back, gasping as a shock like electricity runs straight to my pussy, making it pulse and raise my hands to cover them. A cruel smile spreads across his face, knowing exactly what he did to me. Reaching behind, he pulls the handcuffs out of his back pocket, and I whimper at the sight of them. The cuts they left on my wrists start to throb once again. Put your hands down to your sides, or they'll go behind your back. A choice, willingly or forcefully. Why do I want him to force me? He arches at a brow at my hesitation and steps closer to me, but at the last second I decide to lower them to my sides. You're such a good girl, he whispers lovingly as he tosses the cuffs to the bed. A weird sense of disappointment washes over me that I chickened out. He said he would hurt me, and I want that. If there's no pain, then how do you know you're alive? Aren't you? He asks, lifting his hands to run his knuckles over the top of my breast. He forces my thoughts elsewhere. My nipples harden as they travel lower over them. I want to be his good girl, but in a bad way. Yes, I breathe. My body has never felt so alive, so needy for something that it's already had. I didn't get off when he fucked me, but I have a feeling that was the point. It was a show of ownership, even if no one was watching. His eyes go to my neck. Whose good girl are you? Yours, I answer softly. Mine, he agrees. He slaps the side of my breast again and I yelp. It wasn't as hard as the first time, but it catches me off guard. My hands go to shoot up, but I shove them back down to my sides. The corners of his lips slowly turn up before showing me his gorgeous smile. That alone has more wetness pooling between my legs. The man knows exactly what he's doing. He does it again, harder this time, and I throw my head back, closing my eyes and letting out a cry. But it's not because it hurts. It feels so good. He does the other one, and I moan this time, my body just slightly jerking, starting to adjust to the sting. You like that, don't you, Blake? His force is full of amusement. So much potential for my chosen one. I'm not sure what that means, and I'm not about to ask. Look at me, he orders, all sense of humor gone. I open my eyes and lower my head to stare up at him. His gaze drops to my breast, reaching out. He takes both my hard nipples between his fingers and he pinches them hard. I rise up on my tiptoes, screaming out, and he yanks me closer to him by them. I'm panting as he holds me in place. I fist my hands down by my sides, sucking in a deep breath, letting go of them. I cry again at the sensation it gives. It felt so good. So good. Get your heels. He nods to the bathroom door behind me and then turns, going back to the dresser. I walk into the bathroom to find them lying on the floor where I'd taken them off from my shower. They're still wet, and I pour what little bit of water remains inside into the sink and go back into the bedroom. Put them on, he orders, not even bothering to look at me. Using the wall as support, I slide my feet into the 6-inch Gucci's. They're cold from the water, and my feet are already so sore from wearing them earlier, but I'm not telling him that. I kinda like the pain. He turns around and I notice he has something in his hand. He tosses it onto the bed. My eyes go to see what it is, but he reaches out and grabs me, pulling me towards him. I trip and my heels falling into him. He catches me, bringing me over to the foot of the bed. He spins me around to where I face it and lightly smacks my ass. Spread your legs as far as you can. I see that he had thrown my underwear from earlier in the middle. He smacks my ass again, getting my attention, and I place my hands on the back footboard on the black footboard for support to spread them as far as they'll go. He bends down next to my left ankle, and I watch him reach under and pull out a chain. It's short, attached to black leather cuff, and the other end is attached to the post. He wraps it around my ankle, securing the buckle, pulling on it just to see how much slack it has. There's none. And then he walks around to the other ankle, pulls it even further to the other corner post, and it does the same. Standing behind me, he places his hand on my back and pushes me to lean over the footboard. It's a little higher than where my hips are, so I have to get up on my tiptoes to where it doesn't dig into my stomach. The moment my face hits the bed, I feel the muscles in my legs pull tight from the position. I suck in a breath, trying to readjust myself, but it's not going to matter. I don't think it's supposed to be comfortable. He walks over to the left side and bends down, grabbing another chain from underneath the bed. Right arm. I slide my left to him, and he just stares at me. Right arm. I trail off, repeating what he said, but he's on the left side of the bed, leaning over. He grips my right hand and yanks it across the bed towards him. He wraps the leather cuff around it, securing it, and I almost smile at the feel of them. They're not nearly as bad as the handcuffs. Then he walks back around behind me and to the right. This time, he doesn't even say anything, he just grabs them. They're not near. Just grabs my left hand, crossing it over my right one, and secures that wrist too. My whole body is pulled tight, my upper body twisted like a pretzel. My neck and chin sit on my upper arms, which makes it hard to breathe. He opens up the top drawer to the nightstand and pulls out a small roll of duct tape. My breathing picks up. He disappears behind me, and I try to look over my shoulders, but I can't. My arms crossed restrict the movement of my head. His wet jeans rub against my thighs before he leans over my back, pressing my hips further into the footboard. The edge of the wood digging into my skin makes me whimper. Reaching out, he grabs the underwear with his free hand. He grips my chin, pulls it up off my arms, forcing my neck to arch back at a painful angle. Without saying a word, he shoves the underwear into my mouth. Then I hear the tape being ripped off. He slaps it over my lips, securing the underwear in my mouth like earlier. At least they're not drenched in water this time, but they're still damp. He gathers all my hair and holds it back at the base of my neck, still yanking my head back. A chosen one must understand patience. I try to adjust my already aching body, but nothing even budges an inch. She must understand obedience. His free hand comes around and grabs my neck, his fingers digging into the skin while taking my air away. My body jerks, trying to fight it on its own, making the chains rattle and the bed shake. And she must understand that her body is no longer hers. He kisses my cheek and releases my throat. My face falls to the rest of my arms again. I take in a deep breath through my nose. His hands touch my inner thighs, and I jump. Every touch, every kiss, every ounce of pleasure your body receives will come from me. He softly runs them upward, and his thumb pushes into my still sore pussy. I moan, pushing against it, my body humming, heart hammering. I can feel my pulse racing. You will not even touch yourself, pulling his thumb out. He then replaces it with 2 fingers, pushing them all the way in to his knuckles, and it hurts so good. I whimper and tears begin stinging at my eyes. If you disobey, you will be punished, little one. I try to twist my hips as his fingers move in and out slowly. I know he's taunting me, making me wet and needy. Removing them, I hear him drop to his knees, and then his warm, wet tongue runs along my throbbing pussy. I moan when he licks it. Yeah, that little one I don't like. I don't like it at all. I moan when he licks it. His hands come up to my ass and he grips my cheeks, pulling them apart. I tense as his tongue continues to slowly move higher. I start trying to tell him to stop, but it's just mumbled nonsense while I yank on my restraints as hard as I can to no avail. His fingers dig further into my cheeks when his tongue slides over my puckered ass. When his tongue slides over my puckered ass, then just as quickly it's gone. He lightly kisses it with his lips before letting go of my ass cheeks. But I don't relax. I'm more tense than ever before. No, I shake my head. Matt and I never did anything back there. Oh shit. He never tried, but I wouldn't have let him anyway. Riot chuckles at my unease. There's no need to fight it, Blake, slapping my cheek playfully he adds. I'm going to own that. Oh my god, slapping my ass cheeks playfully he adds. I'm going to own that too. Oh, yeah. Oh no, not the anal. Now we're from Riot's perspective. I enter the cathedral, checking my watch. They maybe have an hour left. Taking a back pew, I slide in and sit down, fanning my arms along the back of it. A rule of lords is that you watch your brothers accept their chosen ones. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a need to be present. You can't show ownership to an empty room. Plus, it makes all younger members hungry, reminds them why they have to abstain from getting their dick wet for 3 years. I look up at the loft to see one of my brothers in the water. He's got a black hood over his chosen. Did we miss something, or is it going like backwards? Like to what? Yeah. No, that's where we are. I thought I was missing something. The brothers cuck each other. Yeah, exactly. All right, I look up at the loft to see one of my brothers in the water. He's got a black hood over his chosen one's head while he fucks her from behind. She's completely naked, her fake tits pressed against the glass side of the square tub, and her hands are also cuffed behind her back. Makes me think of Blakely. I left her tied and gagged to my bed to return here. Got it. Okay, makes sense. He comes and yanks her out of the pool. With them out, I can see just how low the water level is now. It's not even waist deep. Fucking in a bowl will do that. The water has to go somewhere. Where's your girl? Gunner asks. Coming to sit in the pew in front of me. He turns. I'm sorry, I'm fucking retarded. He turns in his seat to look at me. Not here, I state. It's none of his goddamn business where she's at. I made sure to lock my bedroom door so no one can get to her, and I gagged her for that exact reason. I don't want someone hearing her in there. The lords may be here, but there is still staff there. Now that the seniors can actually use their dicks, it'll be nothing but fucking orgies. They'll pass their chosen ones from room to room to room while having other women join them. Where's yours? I countered. He picked her best friend, Sarah. Oh, she's passed out in my trunk, he smiles. How many more are there? I asked, looking around the room. All the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors are still seated in their masks and cloaks. 2, he answers, looking down at his watch. Just then I hear a woman say, I vow. As she stands in the water, you vow, Prickett announces. We vow, they say in unison. Then he shoves her underwater, where he places his foot on her back, holding her face down to the bottom. I look back at Gunner. He's checking his watch again. Have somewhere to be? Sarah will be up in about 30, he answers. Ah, I nod. He's drugged her. And it'll be wearing off soon. I hear the girl gasping as Prickett brings her up from the water and immediately pulls her out and goes to town on her ass. I've seen enough lords take their chosen ones over the last 3 years. Last 3 years that I could go without seeing them anymore. I couldn't care less who and how they fuck. Now that I've picked mine, I could do without everything else. I want to live in my bedroom with her. Fuck that. I want to move out of the House of Lords and go somewhere remote with her, just us, no one around for miles. Then I wouldn't have to gag her, and I could listen to her scream my name for hours. Prickett and his girl finish up, and he pulls her out of the water while she sobs. We make these women think they have a choice to be chosen, but not all are. We are given a list of names that must be chosen before senior year even starts. Manipulation isn't hard. If you have someone repeatedly tell you how great something is, you eventually want a taste. This is what we do. Fuck was yeah. One more. Pulling out my cell, I pull up the live feed on my app. Blake is still in the same spot I left her, just like I thought she'd be, but it still doesn't hurt to look. I have 10 cameras. 10, dude? You have 10 fucking cameras? Set up in my room so I can see her from every angle. Plus, 2 in my bathroom. The house is littered with them. Every lord has the same app and chance to watch his chosen one. She's not struggling. I wouldn't be surprised if she passed out. It's been a long day, and I'm about to make it a very long night for her. I vow. Closing out the app. 10 is excessive. Yeah, no, it really is. Closing out the app, I drop the phone to my lap and look up at the loft. Matt stands in the water with Ashley. You vow, he growls. I smile. Sorry, fucking bastard. We vow. We vow, they say in unison, and he grips the back of her neck, shoving her into the water face down. She struggles, the water splashing around. He's got her hands zip-tied behind her back, and her ankles are also tied together. There is no rule in how you restrain your chosen one as long as it's done. Being held underwater will have anyone fighting, so the restraints help them from clawing our faces off. Plus, just another way for us to dominate them. She's naked, and he's already put a collar on her. I sit up straighter when he continues to hold her underwater. He's baring his teeth like he's mad at her, as if his fault he fucked up and lost his toy. She slows down, her body going slack together. What the fuck? I jump to my feet. Matt! I shout in warning. Everyone in the cathedral turns to look at me. I can't see their faces because of their masks, but I'm sure their eyes are wide. A lord never tells another member how to treat his chosen one. Matt gives me a go-to-hell look and then yanks her up by from the water by her hair. Her head hangs back. She's completely still for a second before she spits out water from her mouth. Sucking in a breath, she proceeds to cough. Being a lord isn't about harming our chosen ones. They are a reward. If you break it or kill it, you don't get to replace it with another one. He knows this. Not going to say it's never happened, because it has, more than once since I've joined. These women go down as missing persons and are never looked for. When the public isn't even aware of your organization, that your organization exists, no one suspects you committed the crime. I turn to walk out of the cathedral, going back to play with Blakely. My cell rings when I fall to my car. Hello? I answer, letting the Bluetooth pick it up while I take off down the gravel road. Who'd you end up with? My father asked in greeting. He is a lord. Most members got here because of their bloodline. My son or sons will one day be a lord, and so on. It is something that was not a choice but required of me. But I was more than ready and willing to accept. Blakely, I answer, pulling out onto the road. Good job, son, he says with a heavy breath. Did you ever doubt me? I ask jokingly. He chuckles. No, just making sure you do what needs to be done. Always. I'll see you this weekend. He hangs up, satisfied with our chat, and everybody gets high. Immediately fills my car. Matt will not get anywhere near her, not until I physically hand her over after graduation, and there won't be anything left of her for him to take. Unlocking my bedroom door, I walk inside and find her still naked, bent over the footboard, tied, gagged, and eyes closed. Deciding to let her have a few more minutes of sleep, I walk into the bathroom and undress out of my still wet clothes. I need a shower. Stepping inside, I close the door behind me and stare down at my hard cock. I squeeze some soap onto my hand and reach down, wrapping my hand around the base. I stroke it, my hand tightening so painfully on it that it takes my breath away. What? I stop and let go, placing both hands on the wall and stepping under the sprayer. I've had to do it myself for so long that it's like a habit. That's like a habit now. The amount of porn I've watched over the past few years is enough to make a hooker blush. That's not to mention what I've seen happen here at the House of Lords. We knew going into our freshman year what our requirements were going to be. I lost my virginity. What was that? I lost my virginity when I was 15 to our neighbor's daughter. She was the same age as me. It wasn't like we dated. We both wanted to fuck, and there was an easy decision. After that, I fucked my way through high school. The summer before I came to Barrington, I fucked as many as I could, knowing it'd be the last chance I got for a while. It didn't do any good. The moment I arrived and knew I'd have to do it myself was when I started craving it. Tell someone they can't have something and watch them do anything in their power to get it done, especially if they've already experienced it before and knows how good it feels. We keep each other accountable. Men have been kicked out, stripped of their titles, shunned, and even killed for it. The Lords do not joke around. This is a zero tolerance organization. There are no 3 strikes and you're out. They can decide at any moment and tell you to pack your shit and get the fuck out throughout your duration of college. If you accept and become a lord and then fuck up, well, let's just say they chase you down and fucking kill you. Finishing up in the shower, I dry off and walk out in the bedroom, deciding it's time to wake her up. I open my nightstand to get the lube out first, then walk to the end of the bed, dropping my towel at my feet. I kick it away and run my fingers over her pussy. She's not that wet, but I didn't expect her to be. I squeeze some lube on my fingers and softly rub it over her pussy and up over her ass. She freaked out when I touched her there before I left to finish watching the vow ceremony. But she will learn that I own that as well, and I will have it, even if that means she leaves me no choice but to take it. I plunge a finger into her pussy, watching to see if she reacts. When she doesn't, I add a second one, and her head moves a little. Wake up, Blake. He says, wake up, Blake. Removing my fingers, I grab my dick and slide into her, not waiting. She jerks, pulling on the restraints, coming around, slapping her ass. I hear her mumbled moan. Looking down, I watch my cock move in and out of her. I can get deeper now than before, and I can go harder. Grabbing the footboard on either side of her hips, I do just that, not wasting any time. I know she's sore, but going slow won't do her any good. Plus, That's just not me. I'm not going to give her any false hope that this is anything else than what it is. I own her. Her pussy clenches down on me and I push into her, the headboard slapping the wall, with each thrust leaning over her body. I grip her hair and yank her head off her arms. I'm not gonna do that, sorry. I wrap my free arm around her neck and hold her head in place. Her arms crossed in front of her, pulled tight, hands fisted. Feel that? I ask her, making her whimper. How fucking wet you are. And I pull out and shove my hips forward. I love that, I say, and she clamps down on me. Growling in her ear, I slam my hips into her, and her breathing picks up, her body now tensing. A mumbled cry fills my room as she comes. I slow my rhythm and let go of her hair and neck. Her face drops to her arms. When I pull out completely, she sags against the bed. I push my thumb into her wet cunt a few times before replacing it with my cock once again. When I slide my thumb up to her ass, she starts fighting me, but she's got no chance. I push my thumb over her lube-covered ass, just applying some pressure. Relax, I say, slapping the side of her leg with my free hand. It'll hurt less. Whimpering, she stops struggling. I pull my cock out of her pussy and slowly enter her while my thumb starts circling her ass gently, applying more pressure. Good girl, I say, repeating both. Just breathe. She's panting, her body trembling. I watch her back muscles tense while fighting the restraints. When I push my thumb into her ass, a muffled cry comes from her taped lips. Such a tight ass, I say through gritted teeth. It's going to feel so amazing when I take it. I'm going to take it, Blake, I inform her. My cum will fill this tight ass, just like it will with your pussy. I leave my thumb inside her while my hips pick up their pace again. My cock fucking her cunt. I'm close. My breathing picks up, filling the room while the headboard pounds into the wall. I try to hold it in, but it's just been too long. I remind myself that I have tomorrow and the next day and the next day. She belongs to me until graduation. I can do this as much as I want. Feeling my balls tighten, I shove all the way into her one last time, my muscles tensing and my cock pulsing inside of her sweet cunt as I come. I pull my thumb out first, and her body sags against the bed while I remove my cock. Leaving her like that for a minute, I bend down and grab the towel that I kicked away and run it over her, cleaning her up. Once done, I drop it and lean over her back. I rip the tape from her mouth and pull her underwear out. Then I get to work on releasing her arms and legs before entering my bathroom, grabbing some pills for her, walking out. I see her sitting on the side of the bed, head down and hands in her lap. She's rubbing her wrist. Here, take these. I hold out my fist. She looks up at me, and her tired eyes go wide with excitement. Interesting. It's Advil to help with the soreness. Oh, she says, shoulders slumping in disappointment when I open my hand to show them to her. You thought I was going to drug you again? I comment. Her cheeks redden, but as she takes them from me, her eyes fall to the floor, unable to meet mine. Walking over to her, I gently cup her chin, lift it to where she has to look up at me. Tell me. She's got something on her mind. And Blake needs to understand there is nothing she can't talk to me about. I'm not the kind of guy who runs to his friends and tells them what we did. If there's one thing about me, it's that I can keep a secret. In fact, I will be buried with many. What I do with her will be added to the others. Did we have sex that night? She whispers. That night you gave me the stuff to drink? I tilt my head to the side at her question. Did she not think tonight was her first time? She sighs at my silence. Oh, she sighs at my silence. It's just that I was really sore the next day. No, I answer. Of course she was sore. I was rough with her. I hate to tell her, but she'll always be sore from now on. Oh. Once again, she looks disappointed by that answer. You told me you were a virgin in here the night of the party. I'm not going to tell her. You told me you were a virgin in here the night of the party. I'm not going to tell her that's not why I didn't fuck her, because honestly, it wouldn't have stopped me. It's the path I chose. The lords can kick you out, strip you of your title and power, and as much as I wanted to, making her mine for the duration of my senior year is fucking better than just one time. Her eyes widen and her cheeks go red at the thought of her telling me that information. Matt never would sleep with me, she whispers. I hate her even mentioning his name, but I understand that he was a big part of her life. I'm going to erase any thought of him from her memory. She won't even know who he is when I return her to him. You don't have to be embarrassed, I tell her. I like that I was the first to fuck you. I let go of her chin and run my thumb over her lips. Her breathing picks up as she asks, "What did you do that night at my apartment?" I can show you. I love to watch her watch me with her while she was drugged to see if it turns her on. I have a feeling she'd get off on that. Really? Her eyes widen and her nipples harden at that thought. Yeah, but not tonight. I pull the covers back and she crawls under them naked. I slide in next to her and she snuggles into my side. I go to shove her away, but don't. Instead, I pull her close, knowing that this house is full of almost 100 men, and any one of them would gladly take her from me. Ladies and gentlemen, that is where we will stop for the hour of reading. Now, before we do end, and before we move on, I do want to talk about this. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn off the music. And I'm going to ask you, see what you guys think. So what are we thinking of this book so far? Clearly, these chapters have been insane, intense. He apparently they didn't do anal, so trip. Why does it make you want to cry? Like cry of laughter, cry of like cringe, cry of what? She's yeah, you gotta find yourself a riot, huh? Darius, what are you thinking? I think I saw Honey in here too. Was it Honey? I also saw Delightful. I know Delightful's here. We'll call this snack talk. What are we thinking? Darius? Anyone? Pinky, I know that you're saying that, like, she's living your dream. Honestly, she has everything she wants. The boob is so good. Yeah, the boob slaps, they were pretty good. Just how descriptive it was and how descriptive this book is. I've never, ever read a smut novel. That's not true. I have read 50 Shades of Grey. But I've never actually read something like this. This is just intense. I mean, Riot talks about underage sex. I like Riot. However, the only thing I don't like about him is the little one. I don't know. I yeah, this is called The Ritual. We've been reading it for like the past 3 weeks. I think I was doing 9 chapters at a time. The first read I read for 2 hours, 9 chapters. That was a lot for me. Uh, but then I think I'm doing maybe 4 or 5 at a time now. Because this is chapter 16. It's like 3, yeah. But yeah, it's a really good book. Really descriptive on the sex though. Hold on, I think I still have the music playing in my head. There we go. But yeah. And apparently it's a trilogy. I don't know how you can top this. Like, I have no idea. Like, I know you can read, what is it? It's The Ritual. What are the books? Sin, I know you know. It's The Ritual, something in the sacrifice, right? Sacrifice sounds like it has to do with death. Hmm. Yeah, so it's like it's a trilogy. Honestly, the woman that wrote this book, I give props to her. Like, it is very descriptive. It's to the T. It's like you're not missing any detail. You're not going back to where you're like, okay, what happened? Like, it's very descriptive to the point where you remember it. Most of the time when I'm reading books, it's hard for me to remember and memorize things that I read. So, which is another reason why I'm doing this, is to help also speech improvement, um, thought process, make sure I'm quick on my feet and whatnot. And also that's why I'm streaming a lot more. But this book in general is a really, really good book. The author is, let me go to the library real quick. Never mind, it's not showing up right now. We'll talk about the author in a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let me pull it up. Maybe I can pull it up instead of signing in. Chantel Tessier. Is it Tessier? Or here, I'll type it in chat so everyone can see. But yeah, Chantel Tessier. Tessier. What other books has she written? Watch it be a dude who wrote the book, and I'm just like ruining it. All right, let's see. Oh, wow. She has 2 new books. One called Madness, and the other one called Carnage. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo. Oh, fuck. There's merchandise. No fucking way. Guys, she has a fucking... Alright. Stickers of the House of Lords, okay? She has crew necks, the House of Lords. Jesus, 50 fucking bucks? Oh my god. Property of Riot? There's a hoodie that says property of Riot. There's a mug. There's a mug for $16 that says Riot's little one. You know, if anyone were to gift, should I put this on the gift list? Riot's little one. Wait a second. Then there's one for you. It's called Sen's Little Demon, and it's a fucking mug. All right. Okay. Yo, I'll screen share. All right, let's see how we're gonna do this. We'll do display, open display. Boom. All right. I don't know if y'all, oh yeah, you guys can definitely see this now. Hold on. We'll move it right here. Okay. Sen's Little Demon. A shirt that says Sen's Little Demon, a hoodie, and stickers. Riot's little one. Just because of how uncomfortable I am with that, honestly, I think I'll get this. Yo! Oh my god. Boyfriend trip, for real. Riot's a little one. Yeah, I'll have to get a mug and like continuously I'll keep it here for when I stream and when we take these breaks that I do. I'll go ahead and we'll just sip from it. Rep that shit. Yeah, I'll rep that shit because it makes me so uncomfortable. But honestly, if we just embrace it, is it really gonna make me that uncomfortable? If we're getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Let's see what else I got. Barrington University. Okay, this is, yeah, that's kneel for your lord. Okay. There's a phone case. Sen's Little Demon. Oh my god. Drink your water like a what? Like a good girl. Yo. Oh my god. We need it. We need all of it. What else? Easton. Yeah. Good little slut. Yes. I will put that like right here. Nah, actually, that probably will get me banned. I don't do that. You gotta look your best when you decide to show your crazy. Does that say crazy? Yeah, it's crazy. You gotta look your best when you decide to show you're crazy. I vow, you vow, we vow. Backpack. Property of Riot. Yeah, these are insane. All right, I'm not gonna share this anymore. Go ahead and remove that. Honestly, good book, great series. I will be streaming again in a little bit, as I didn't stream last night. No, I'll stream tomorrow. But yeah, I'll be in the Discord. If anyone wants to join us, the link is right there. You can also, yeah. What, you want me to keep reading? Do we have, are we gonna go with keep reading? Because I could keep reading, but we're an hour 15 in. I just don't want to get tired. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's over. I'll keep you guys. I know it sucks, but we'll resume next Saturday or Friday. Yeah, we may just do like a whole weekend of the book reading because I mean maybe people want that. I don't know. We'll decide. I'll let you guys know next week. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Meow. I'll see you guys later. Peace.